We're going to get going now. Sorry it's a little late, but we knew the new location might goof me up. So, I'm Andy Back. I'm the Planning and Development Services Manager for Washington County. I want to mention my boss, Andrew Singalakis, who's the Director of the department, is here. Let me go over a few things. First, talk a little bit about the purpose of why we're here. So there's three main reasons. One is just to share information on sort of current things that are going on in the division I manage and in the county in general relative to LUT. We also want to hear from you in terms of concerns or ideas or things that are going on in your world. And then the third thing, and to me the most important thing, is just have that opportunity to interact with you on perhaps a more or less formal basis, knowing that the relationships that we foster and create are really important as part of the development process. So let me talk a little bit about some staff changes since we met. For those of you who haven't been to one of these before, we do these twice a year, so every 6 months. The next one will be in late October. We have had quite a bit of changes, or quite a few changes. A lot more long-range planning staff we've added over the last 6 months. On the building side, we continue to have issues in terms of we've been fortunate to hire some good people over the last 6 months, but we've also lost some folks too. So if any of you have kids who are about 16 and want to encourage them to become building inspectors or plans examiners, it seems to be a pretty good field in terms of there's a lot more jobs than people to fill them. So we think we're pretty close to being up to speed, but we're hopeful, or what's the word, cautiously optimistic that we'll maintain that, but we know that there's going to be a lot of activity, and so on the building side, we're close to fully staffed, but walk on eggshells there. I do want to mention the hiring or changing of positions for two people. Two people got promoted that you may see more. So Tom Harry, a lot of you know Tom. He's, I think, the only person in this room who's been in the county longer than me. He's now the principal planner in current planning. So Wayne Hasten had that job before. So Tom's sort of the main person in current planning right now. Also, he's not here, but a fellow by the name of Derek Moon got promoted on the plans examiner side. So he's sort of one of our lead plans examiners now. So a lot of you will deal with him on the building side in the future. With that, let me talk a little bit sort of about activity levels. I've got a page here with about 47 different key indicators that I'm not going to go over, but just know that things have sort of leveled off from a very high level over the past year or so. Some things are down about 10%, other things are up about 10%. So we've kind of plateaued in terms of activity level, but they're a lot higher than clearly they were a few years ago. So we continue to have a ton of work. Let me talk about the nature of the work. Let me read the spiel that I read every 6 months. And it just talks about what our jobs are. So the nature of our work is to be your partner, to get you through the process and meet regulations. It's important to note that we are regulators. We're here because development code and building codes are on the books and is law. That said, it's a partnership with you, but also with our citizens who expect us to implement these regulations. It's not a productive debate whether or not they should be on the books, nor do we debate neighbors who want more regulations. Our job is to be your partner, to get you through the regulations. I know the term regulator may have a bad connotation for some of you, but to me it means we are your partner to get you through the process to meet the regulations, not exceed the regulations, nor waive the regulations. It's important to emphasize the partnership, but it's also important to recognize the fundamental truth that we wouldn't be here if the regulations weren't on the books. So with those provocative comments, let me go over the agenda here. Teresa Cherniak is going to talk a little bit about the long-range work program that just got adopted by the board. Yami is going to talk about some parking work we're doing. So we're looking at changing the parking regulations this summer. Let's see, Joel's going to talk a little bit about accessing the Community Development Code online. We've made some changes there and improvements, so I know you'll be able to find code sections and argue with us even better in terms of what's in the code. Janine is here from THPRD. I'll talk a little bit about their system development charges. And then the intent is to get done hopefully by 9:20, 9:30 or so, and then just have opportunity for the last half hour if you want to stick around and just talk to us about any issues you want. I will mention that all presentations include moderated Q&A. That means I'm the moderator and I'll stand over here and go 2 questions per subject, and we'll see how that goes. So we do want some opportunity to talk about each specific topic as they come up, but on the other hand, we don't want to devote all the time to that. With that, I think we're ready to kick this off. So Teresa is batting first.